Hello, Internet. So today I'm cracking open the Toon Chaos pack. Now, I don't know what's in here. I mean, obviously it has Toon cards and Chaos cards. The one thing I'm hoping to pull from this is the Toon Blackluster Soldier. So let's just get right into it. There we go. And it says on here, new rarity. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think it's the collector's rares is the new rarity. And it says 15 cards also is available as collector's rare, so I'm assuming it's just either the super rares, ultra rares, or rare cards as in a different style. Huh, all the packs are wrapped off center. That's weird. So, first pack, we have Gear Breed. During your draw phase, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can add one equip spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Oh, that's not bad if you're running equip spells. If you control an equip spell, you can place one Fire Warrior monster or one Gemini monster from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. Draw one card. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, that's not too bad. Lets you recycle your monsters. Lets you draw cards. Light Pulsar Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one light and dark monster from your graveyard. You can special summon this card from your graveyard by sending one light and dark monster from your hand to the graveyard. Oh. So that's good for not only with the standard Chaos summoning, but also you can get your graveyard set up for future summonings. That's not bad. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. That's not bad at all. Frame Driver. I mean, he's light monster. 2,500 attack, 0 defense for 6 stars. Other than that, there's nothing really to say about him. Psychic. I'm really grasping at straws for things to say about him. Valkyrie Sigrun. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up spell and trap you control. Spell or trap you control. Send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Oh, that's not too bad. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one level 8 or lower Valkyrie monster from your hand or graveyard. You can use each effect once per turn. No, I like that. That's not bad at all. Envoy of Chaos. It looks like a Toon, but he's not... Yeah, he doesn't have the Toon effects. He just looks very Toonish. During the battle phase, quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one Blackluster Soldier monster or Gaia the Fierce Knight monster you control. It gains 1500 attack until the end of the turn, and if it does, every opponent's monster that battles it this turn has its attack become that monster's original attack during damage calculation only. Sorry for pausing. It gains 1500 attack until the end of the turn, and if it does, every opponent's monster that battles it has its attack become that monster's original attack during damage calculation only. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one light and dark monster from your graveyard, accept this card, and add it to your hand. I mean, that's not a bad effect. I'm just kind of pausing because it gains 1500 attack. Every monster that battles it this turn has its attack become that monster's. I'm assuming this means that it cancels out any attack or defense changes to the monster that it's attacking, and not your Blackluster Soldier or Gaia the Fierce Knight's attack becomes the monster he's attacking. We have Toon World. I do wish that they would have do something to update Toon World, because as it is, it's just not that good of a card overall. And Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Now, I know that they have changed his ability from when he was first released, so he's no longer the effectively one turn win, because you've locked your opponent down to 1 card a turn, and cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, send as many cards in both players' hands and on the field as possible to the graveyard, then inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. You can now activate other cards or effects during the turn you activate this card's effect. And that was the big one, I know, for that they added in, so you couldn't bring him out turn 1 as easily. I have Lackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. I do like this card. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and dark monster. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Target 1 monster on the field, banish it. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. I mean, not bad for getting rid of a problem monster. And if this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can make a second attack in a row. So, I mean, it's a very solid card. Really can't complain. Crossover. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and 1 warrior monster you control. Equip that opponent's face-up monster to your monster as an equip spell. And if you do until the end of this turn, your opponent takes no damage from battle involving that monster you control. You can only activate 1 crossover per turn. When while equipped, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy the monster equipped to it instead. So, I mean, it's decent enough for getting rid of problem monsters. Proglio. 2 monsters accept tokens. During your main phase, if you control this Link Summon card, you can banish this card and one of your monsters this card points to, then target 1 Link monster in either graveyard. Special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, I mean, you already need to have something set up for another Link monster on the field to use them, but, I mean, the fact that you can bring out either from your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard isn't bad. Microcoder. If a Cyberse monster you control be used as link material for a Code Talker monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. I mean, that's not too bad. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard as material for Link Summon, you can either add 1 Signet spell or trap from your deck to your hand, or if this card on the field was used as material, add 1 level 4 Cyberse monster instead. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's, I mean, that seems pretty decent. We have another Envoy of Chaos. 2 packs in and we're already getting doubles. Well, that's a little disappointing. Keeper of Dragon Magic. If this card is normal or special summon, discard 1 card, add 1 Polymerization normal spell or Fusion normal summon or normal spell from your deck to your hand. Oh, that's not too bad. You can reveal 1 Fusion monster in your extra deck, special summon 1 of your Fusion materials whose name is specifically listed on that card from your graveyard, in face down defense position. You can only use each effect once per turn. Cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Fusion monsters the turn you activate either of these cards' effects. So, good for getting, setting up your Fusion summons. I mean, it's not too bad. Another crossover. Masked Hero Blast. Must be special summoned with Mask Change. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its current attack. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, return it to the hand. I mean, it seems decent enough. Frightfur Sabertooth. That is both adorable and horrifying. 1 Frightfur plus 1 Fluffle and or Edge Imp monster. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 Frightfur monster in your graveyard, special summon it. All Fright Fur monsters you control gain 400 attack. If this card was fusion summoned using 3 or more fusion materials, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. That seems pretty good. Dwarf Star Dragon Planeteer. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned this turn, you can add 1 level 7 light or dark monster from your deck to your hand. Ooh, that's actually quite nice. And Starlight Road. When a card or effect is activated that would destroy 2 or more cards you control, negate the effect, and if you do destroy that card, special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. Signet Codec. If a Code Talker monster is special summoned from the extra deck to your field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, add 1 Cyberse monster with the same attribute from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Cyberse monsters, even if this card leaves play. You cannot add other monsters with that same attribute to your hand by the effect of Signet Codec, and you can only activate once per chain. Neat. That pack did not want to open. Dark Flare Dragon. You can special summon this card by banishing 1 light and dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can send 1 dragon monster from your hand and 1 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then target 1 card in either graveyard, banish that target. I mean, it's decent enough graveyard hatred ability. Gets your deck filled up for chaos summons. We have another Psy-Frame Driver. Another Keeper of Dragon Magic. Toon Terror. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, while you control both Toon World and Toon Monster, negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, you can only activate 1 Toon Terror per turn. I mean, that's pretty good effect. We have another Dwarf Star Dragon, and another Starlight Road, and another Signet Codec. Of Witch of the Black Forest. If it's sent from the field to the graveyard, add 1 monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand, but you cannot activate cards with, or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of the turn. You can only use her effect once per turn. I mean, she was one of the ones from the old, way back in the day. And, I mean, it's 1500 or less defense. I know there's quite a few decks that run, or a lot of cards where it's incredibly high attack, incredibly low defense, so she can fetch out quite a bit of tools. Supervise. Equip only to a Gemini monster. It becomes an effect monster and gains its effects. If this face-up card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target 1 normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. I mean, it's decent for if you're running Gemini monsters. I know most Gemini monsters are not that good, because you have to basically give up your normal summon to actually turn them on. Chaos Sorcerer. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, banish that target. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. You know, he was released alongside the, I believe he came out in Invasion of Chaos with Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Dragon Emperor. And, you know, he's always been a solid card. Mask Hero Acid. Must be special summoned with Mask Change. When this card is special summoned, destroy as many spells and traps your opponent controls as possible. And if you do, all monsters they control lose 300 attack. I mean, that's not too bad. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. 2 monsters of the same attribute but different types. Your opponent cannot target this spell or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card. With card effects. Once per turn, you can declare one attribute. This card becomes the attribute until the end of turn. So, I mean, that seems pretty decent, as long as you're running only one or two attributes. Seems like decent protection for them. Blackluster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one of your banished light or dark monsters and one card your opponent controls. Return that banished card to the graveyard, and if you do, banish that card your opponent controls. You can only use this effect once per turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target one level 7 or lower warrior monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That is quite nice. Pot of Desires. Yeah, goes decently well with Sacred Soldier. We have another Gearbreed. Curse of Dragonfire. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one field spell on the field, destroy it. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters you control as fusion materials, including this card. Oh, that's quite nice. Treats himself as polymerization as well as destroying a field spell. Light Pulsar. Magician of Hope. Once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, you can negate that attack, then destroy this card. And acquires 2 level 4 monsters. If you can Pendulum Summon level 4, you can Pendulum Summon this face-up card in your extra deck. Oh, fair enough. You can detach one material from this card, special summon one level 7 or lower Pendulum monster from your hand in defense position, but negate its effects. Then you can place this card face-up in your Pendulum zone. You can only use this effect of Magician Hope once per turn. If this card is Pendulum summoned, you can target one Pendulum monster in your graveyard, attached to this card as material. I mean, that seems quite decent overall. Another Mud Dragon. And, yeah, back to Blackluster Soldier. Wait. Mud Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, Pot of Desire. Mud Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, Pot of Desire. I think I see how they have the randomizer for these cards going. So I wonder how many more times we're going to see the Mud Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, Pot of Desire trio show up. We have another Masked Hero Blast. Oh, it's a little damaged at the top. Another Witch of the Black Forest. Elemental Hero Soldier, Solid Soldier. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower hero monster from your hand. Oh, fair enough. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell effect, you can target one hero monster in your graveyard except Elemental Hero Solid Soldier, special summon in defense position. You can only use this effect once per turn. Kind of wonder what if Mask changes a spell card and if that would trigger his effect. Infernoble Knight, Roland. Quick effect, you can target one face-up monster you control. Equip this card from your hand to that target as an equip spell that gives the card 500 attack. During the end phase, if this is sent to the graveyard, if this card is in the graveyard because it's sent there this turn, you can add one Fire Warrior monster except Infernoble Knight, Roland, or one equip spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, seems decent enough for fire decks. We have another Sacred Soldier. Or, yeah, Sacred Soldier. Masked Hero Goka. Must be special summoned with Mask Change. Gain 100 attack for each hero monster in your graveyard. And Pot of Desires. We have another Witch of the Black Forest. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Evening Twilight. Oh, that is tiny text. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by banishing all light monsters or all dark monsters in your graveyard. Oh, that's different. While you have an equal number of each in your graveyard. That's oddly specific. While face up on the field, this card is also a light attribute. While this card is special summoned, you can activate the appropriate effect based on the attribute of the monsters banished for the special summon. You cannot conduct your battle phase this turn. You activate the effect. Light, target one monster on the field, banish it. Dark, banish one random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's end phase. Like, it'd be a little tricky just to make sure that you have an equal number of light and dark in your graveyard, but no, that seems quite powerful. I imagine you'd usually be using it for the light effect, but... Masked Hero Blast. Frightfur Meister. Tribute one level 4 or lower Frightfur, Fluffle, or Edge Imp monster. Special summon from your deck one Fiend monster with the same level, but with a different name. You can only use this effect once per turn. And during your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Frightfur, Fluffle, or Edge Imp monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the term except fusion monsters. You can tribute 2 or more Fiend monsters, special summon one Frightfur fusion monster from your extra deck whose level equals the combined original level of those monsters. This is treated as a fusion summon. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, that's he's high level, so he's not exactly the easiest to get out, but it's still not a bad effect. We have another Sacred Soldier, another Masked Hero Goka, and another Pot of Desires. We have Gemini Ablation. During the main phase, you can discard one card, then activate one of these effects. Special summon one Gemini monster from your deck as an effect monster that gains tribute one Gemini monster, and if you do, special summon one Fire Warrior monster from your deck, hand or deck. Then if you tribute a Gemini monster that was treated as an effect monster and had gained its effects, you can also destroy one card on the field. I mean, it's... once again, decent enough support for Geminis. Don't really have much more to say. Now I have another Envoy of Evening Twilight. Another Proglio. Sublimation Knight. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can equip one Fire Warrior or one Gemini monster from your hand or deck to this card as an equip spell that gives this card 500 attack. If this card is in its owner's graveyard, is destroyed by an opponent's card who, while equipped with a Gemini... If this card is in its owner's control, is destroyed by an opponent's card while equipped with the Gemini monster, you can special summon as many of the Gemini monsters from your graveyard as possible as effect monsters that gain their effects. So, I mean, once again, decent support for Geminis. I know they're not overall that good, so. Number 68, Xenophond the Sky Prison. 2 level 8 monsters. Gains 100 attack and defense for each monster in the graveyards. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. That's quite good. I mean, 2 level 8 monsters, but the actual effect is quite good. Masked Hero Vapor. Must be special summoned with Mask Change. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Code Generator. If a Cyberus monster you control would be used as link material for a Code Talker monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Code Talker monster, you can send one Cyberus monster with 1200 or less attack from your deck to the graveyard, or if this card is on the field as used as material, you can add that card to your hand instead. Yeah, I mean, it's decent enough. Lets you get out your links faster. And we're back to the start. another Chaos Sorcerer, another Supervise, another Elemental Hero Solid Soldier. We have Eternal Chaos. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Send one light and dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, whose combined attack is less than or equal to the monster's. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you can only activate one monster effect in the graveyard. You can only activate one Eternal Chaos per turn. I mean, decent enough for setting up your Chaos effects if you have one card that you absolutely want in, or one monster you absolutely want in the graveyard for his effect. You know, it sets it up. Another Xenophond. Another Masked Hero Vapor. Another Code Generator. Still no Toon Blackluster Soldier. We have another Dark Flare Dragon. Masked Hero Dian. Must be special summoned with Mask Change. While this card is destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. You can special summon one level 4 lower hero monster from your deck. I mean, 2800 attack, 3000 defense. You're probably going to be getting at least one hero monster off of him, so that's not too bad. Another Envoy of the Beginning. Another Hero Acid. Chaos Zone. Each time a monster is banished, place one Chaos counter on this card for each of those monsters. Once per turn, you can remove 4 or more Chaos counters from your field, then target one banished monster with a level equal to the number removed. Special summon that target. When this card is on the field, is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effects. You can add one light or dark monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of Chaos counters that were on this card. I mean, that seems like a pretty decent support. It'd be very easy to fill it up quickly. Sangan. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add one monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, but you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with that name. It's basically Witch of the Black Forest, but looking at attack instead of defense. Stardust Dragon. When a card or effect that is activated that would destroy a card on the field, quick effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. During the end phase, if this effect was activated this turn, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You know, it's quite good. I know there's the support in here as well for getting him out easier. Wouldn't mind getting a few more of them. We have Psi Frame Gear Gamma. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by a card effect. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control no monsters, you can special summon both this card from your hand and one Psi Frame Driver from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And if you do, negate that activation. And if you do, destroy that monster. During the end phase, banish the face-up monster special summoned by this effect. I mean, lets you get out a couple monsters quickly. Gemini Ablation, Masked Hero Dian, Chaos Valkyria. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by a card effect. You can banish one light or dark monster from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is banished, you can send one light or dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. But for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate effects or the effects with the same name as that card. That's quite good for filling up your... Yeah, because it's specifically just light or dark monster. So, I mean, you could even use her just to fix your numbers for the Twilight Blackluster Soldier. You have another Chaos Zone, Sangan, and another Stardust Dragon. We have another Elemental Hero Solid Soldier, Gemini Ablation, Psi Frame Gear Gamma, Fluffle Angel. You can target one Fluffle or Edge Imp monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. Tribute this card, then target one Fright for fusion monster in your graveyard. Discard one card, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. I mean, it seems decent enough overall. True King Lithosagem. Lithosagem? The Disaster. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand and or face-up field, including an Earth monster, and if you do, special summon this card. And if you do that, and both destroyed monsters were Earth, you can also look at your opponent's extra deck and banish up to 3 monsters from it with different names. If this card is destroyed by card effects, you can special summon one non-Earthworm monster from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. That seems quite nice. I mean, especially being able to just target your opponent's extra deck and taking them out. Another Xenophond. Goka. That brings us back to the top. So we have another Supervise, Chaos Sorcerer, Masked Hero Blast, the Chaos Creator. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one light and dark monster from your graveyard. If you control this card that was special summoned from the hand, you can target 3 banished monsters with different names, special summon one of them, then place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use this effect once per turn. That's quite a nice effect. Another True King, another Xenophond, and Goka. So we have another Dark Flame Dragon, Proglio, Envoy of the Beginning. Number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster activates its effects, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card. The activated effects become both players draw 1 card. Huh. You can target one other number XYZ monster you control, attach this card to it as material, transfer its materials to that monster. You can only use the effect once per turn. I mean, it's 2+, 3+ level 3 monsters. And he attaches himself to another XYZ monster. Or Xyz monster. So, I mean, that seems quite good for Xyz decks. Sangan. Masked Hero Vapor. Code Generator. Not really seeing that much in the way of Toon cards, unfortunately. Witch of the Black Forest. Solid Soldier, Gemini Appellation, Chaos Space. Send 1 light or dark monster from your hand to the graveyard. Add 1 light or dark monster that cannot be normal summon set from your deck to your hand, with a level from 4 to 8 and with a different attribute than the monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one of your banished light or dark monsters that cannot be normal summon set. Place that monster on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. So that's seems to be quite good for setting up for Chaos summons. And another Chaos Zone, Sangan, Witch of the Black Forest, yeah. I think we've seen everything except for the one slot. At this point, everything else seems to be all doubles now. Masked Hero Diane, Light Pulsar Dragon, Curse of Dragonfire, Toon Harpy Lady. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. If you control Toon World, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control another Toon monster, you can destroy 1 spell or trap your opponent controls. You can only use this effect Toon Lady once per turn. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, she can attack directly. That's not too bad. Another Toon World. Another Chaos Emperor Dragon. Another Stardust. Apparently we have a very confused Blackluster Soldier on which way he's supposed to be standing. Okay, it is actually printed the right way up. That's good. Proglio, Dark Flare Dragon, Eternal Chaos, Code Generator, Toon World, and another Envoy of the End. We have a Proglio, Dark Flare Dragon, Psi Frame Driver, Pot of Extravagance. At the start of your main phase, banish 3 or 6 random face-down cards from your extra deck, face down. Draw 1 card for every 3 cards banished. For the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot draw any cards by card effects. I mean, unless you draw 1 or 2 cards. From the extra deck. So, I mean, if you're not relying on your extra deck, fill it up with whatever you want to feed these guys. Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End, Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and Toon World. Dark Flare Dragon, Proglio, another Envoy of the Beginning, another Fluffle Angel, Envoy of the End, Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and Toon World. Keeper of Dragon Magic, Gearbreed, Curse of Dragon, Magician of Hope. Yeah, we've seen him already. Envoy of Chaos, Stardust Dragon, and Dwarf Star Dragon Planeteer. Also, haven't really seen anything. Maybe they're the ones that have the larger gold text at the top for the collector's rares. Masked Hero Diane, Light Pulsar Dragon, Curse of Dragonfire, Chaos Valkyria, Envoy of Chaos, Stardust Dragon, and Dwarf Star Dragon Planeteer. Another Light Pulsar Dragon, Supervise, Chaos Sorcerer, Masked Hero Acid, Cyanite Codec, another True King Lithosagem, Starlight Road, and last pack. I have Gearbreed, Keeper of Dragon Magic, Psi Frame Driver, Evocator Wait. Okay, that is actually a Q and not just the frame. Evocator Evacu. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While it's a normal monster, you can normal summon it and have it become an effect monster with this effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target 1 Fire Warrior monster or 1 Gemini monster in your graveyard, except him. Special summon it, you can only use this effect once per turn. I mean, it's decent enough with the support in this set for Gemini. But, I mean, it's still, if you don't have any of the stuff that lets you just immediately treat him as an effect monster, he's not that good. Cyanite Codec, another True King, and Starlight Road. So, overall, I like the set. I'm just a little sad I didn't get the Toon Blackluster Soldier. But, I mean, a lot of Chaos stuff. I should look into making a Chaos deck. But, so thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. Thank you.